This 3TW, we are exploring LinkedIn, and with Nev, the author of Sales Success on LinkedIn. Nev, we've talked previously about the importance of having not only a profile photograph, but having an appropriate profile photograph. Looking beyond the picture itself, what would your advice be on how you complete the rest of the profile information, if at all?
Okay. Well, I think for me, I approach this from the research and everything that we found out and everything that we've discovered in the number of years that we've been using LinkedIn ourselves and building business on LinkedIn, and in the training that we've delivered. And I think for me, the number one thing that people need to get right is that professional headline, that description of what you actually do. So it's the bit below your name where LinkedIn asks you for a professional headline, and a lot of people, and it's changing slightly now, but a lot of people do have just their job title and the company that they work for. And in essence, we're wasting a lot of really important space here on LinkedIn. It's one of the first things that people see beyond your photograph and your name. It's this professional descriptor, this professional headline. And what we encourage people to do is very much think about position that from how do I add value to my customers and potential customers. Because a lot of people tend to think about an outbound sales message about we're great at this and we do this. And what we talk about is actually if you reverse that and explain what the ultimate benefit of dealing with you is and phrase your headline that way, that becomes much more powerful. So for example, my current headline talks about helping HR directors, learning and development directors and sales directors with licensed sales material. And we're very clear about how we help people and what we do. And that's what a lot of people kind of fall into the trap of not doing. They have their job title and their job description. Beyond that, the summary is the next bit on the profile. And the interesting thing is, from a PC, you'll see the first two lines of a summary. So the first two lines need to be really impactful. But on a mobile device on the app, you only tend to see the first line. So that first line of a summary needs to be enough to grab my attention, because there is a click to see more box. And if you haven't grabbed my attention, if it's not engaging, if it's not focused on me as a potential customer, I'll just skim past that. LinkedIn tell us that the viewing of individual profiles is the number one activity on LinkedIn, and what happens is a lot of profiles are really barren in terms of the level of detail. So I've met some folks who've done some brilliant things, let's say for a charity, in previous jobs, in previous roles. They're involved with significant societies, they've taken significant roles on not-for-profit or boards or whatever it might be, and they've simply not bothered filling this information in. So what we encourage people to do is go through every single stage of LinkedIn and fill in lots of detail. Tell me how you helped me, tell me how you added value to those around you in the positions that you previously held. And people often ask, how far should I go back? In our experience, the more information you can provide, the more detail you can provide, the more you demonstrate your credibility, the more that you demonstrate your reliability, and the more that you start to build that trust, because we know that in terms of the Charles H. Green trust equation, they're core aspects. So in terms of the other things you need to kind of really get in there is you need to have things like the projects you've been involved with, publications that you might have delivered at some point, any books that you might have published, any certifications, any professional organisations you're part of. Do you want your university education or college education, school education on there? It's how much you want to share. And what's fascinating is many people just think, well, I'll just skim over those later pieces and not worry about it. We've had some great connections spill out the fact that we share some of our university education on there. I know we've had some interaction with universities based on that. But it's the little details that tend to be picked up. Even down to a lot of people don't realise they tend to be sharing a personal email address, not a company email address. And it's not always the most professional up to date. A lot of people in their contact details are still showing previous jobs and previous employers' websites, or they might be displaying a personal mobile number that they're not aware of. So really go over the profile with a fine-tooth comb, because I'm not a detailed person, but lots of people who view my profile may well be. So if I make sure that detail is bang up to date, fully complete, and provides the level of detail that everybody wants, that means I engage a much wider audience.